Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to my channel, Gardening Cold Spring Harbor. For those of you who are new to my channel, I'm in Long Island, New York, Zone 7A. Fall season is officially here, and I have to tell you guys, fall has arrived with quite a kick here in New York State. We've been having downpour rains and very strong gusty winds for the last 3 days here with the tropical storm Ophelia. It's been raining cats and dogs non-stop for the last 3 days. And in fact, it is still raining outside. So I've been staying inside a lot and trying to do as much gardening as I can indoor, inside. So in today's video, I'm going to talk about a very common problem that many of us experience when growing citrus plants or citrus trees, regardless of whether you grow them outside in the ground or in pots or containers like I do inside my home in my green room. And that common problem is called leaf curl, guys. Leaf curl can happen on various citrus plants: oranges, lemons, limes, tangerines, kumquats, limequats, grapefruits, you name it. So in today's video, I'm going to talk about 2 possible reasons why your citrus plants are experiencing leaf curl, guys. And for those of you who are looking for that online gardening channel that offers tips, tricks, easy yet proven gardening advice to take your home garden to that next level, don't go anywhere, guys. Stick around with me today. Start with going below this video and clicking the subscribe button. And if you want YouTube to notify you every single time I'll upload a new garden video, don't forget to click the bell icon as well. You will get notifications every time I'll upload a new garden video. Now come with me and let's talk about leaf curl on our citrus plants and 2 possible reasons why that might have happened to your citrus plants. All my friends and family members know how much I love and enjoy growing citrus trees in my home. In fact, as long as I can remember, since I was a little girl growing up in Ukraine, I remember my grandma having a large, mature lemon tree in a container right in our bedroom. I remember her asking me to water it and to help her harvest those delicious lemons. I'll never forget how I used to ask her to slice the lemon and brew me a nice hot cup of tea. And I loved and still love enjoying a nice, delicious cup of hot tea with a slice of lemon and a teaspoon of honey. Yum, guys. And ever since I grew up, I started to grow citrus trees in my own home. I have an orange tree, a grapefruit tree, a lime tree, a Meyer lemon tree. I even have a tangerine tree here in my green room in my home. And I take very diligent and meticulous care of each and every one of my citrus plants. Here you go, guys. So this is one of my improved Meyer lemon trees. So this is not a very established tree. This is still a baby tree. But I wanted to show you exactly what leaf curl looks like on a citrus plant. So over here, you could see what healthy leaves look like on a citrus plant. They're nice deep green color. They're nice and leathery to the touch, firm, and they're perked up. If you take a look at this branch over here, you could see that these 3 leaves do not look as perked up and as straight as these. You could see how they're almost forming a straw-like shape or a tube-like shape. So if you see anything like this, or like this on your citrus plant. And again, regardless of whether it's a lemon plant, orange plant, lime plant, when you see your plant's leaves taking a straw-like shape, curling upward, guys, this is called a leaf curl. And now let's get into the 2 top reasons why this may be happening to your citrus plant. So as I mentioned previously, there are 2 possible reasons as to why our citrus tree or citrus plant might be experiencing leaf curl, guys. And reason number 1 is lack of water. So when our citrus plant feels that there is just a lot of sun exposure, or maybe it's lacking that hydration, what it's going to do is start to curl its leaves, not down, but up, kind of trying in a way to close up its leaves. Why? Because by curling up its leaves, by trying to close them nice and tight, it's trying to minimize sun exposure and trying to keep the water, to prevent the water from evaporating any further. So our plants, our citrus plants, are actually very smart, guys. They know exactly what is happening, and our plant is trying to protect itself. So by curling up the leaves into a tube-like shape or form, it's basically minimizing the surface area on the leaf. So when you see that the leaves are starting to take this straw-like shape, you should know right away that this is a sign. Your plant is trying to tell you that it's running out of water. Leaf curl mainly happens with the citrus trees or plants that are grown in pots or containers. So those citrus trees that are planted and grown directly in the ground, they have a way to adapt their root system to grow wider and deeper. So that root system just finds a way to find some sort of a water or hydration source, versus the citrus plants that are potted in containers and are 100% dependent on us to fertilize them, to hydrate them, to repot them, etc. So those plants that are grown directly in the soil, in the ground, they're not dependent on people as much as the plants that are grown in pots. The plant grown in the pot has no other way to find a source of water other than you watering the plant when it needs that hydration. With citrus plants, once our leaves curl, guys, even if we notice this issue and water our plant immediately, say we wait 2 hours, 3 hours, 10 hours, guess what, guys? The leaves will not uncurl again. They will stay in the shape until it's cycled off, meaning that these older leaves will just naturally fall off and new leaves will grow in its place. But there's nothing you can do to make the leaves uncurl once they're curled due to lack of watering. Leaf curl is mainly a cosmetic damage, guys, to your plant. So leaf curl might just make your citrus plant a bit more unappealing looking versus a plant without leaf curl. But at the end of the day, guys, leaf curl will not hurt, damage, or kill your plant. And as I mentioned previously, all you have to do is wait for your citrus plant to go through its cycle off phase, meaning it starts to drop some of the older leaves and replaces them with new, fresh baby leaves, guys. So don't worry if you do see leaf curl. This will not damage or kill your citrus plant whatsoever, guys. One of the biggest misconceptions when it comes to leaf curl in our citrus plants is that many of us tend to think that leaf curl happens due to over watering our citrus plant, No, no, and absolutely no. This cannot be any farther from the truth. So what happens then? Once we start thinking that the leaf curl is happening due to overwatering, so what do? We stop watering our citrus plant, thinking that we're going to allow the soil to dry out, hence fix the problem. No, guys, imagine what is going to happen next when you stop watering your citrus plant. In a day or two, especially for those of you living in warmer, hotter gardening zones, gardening climates, you're going to lose your tree altogether within the next few days if you totally stop watering your citrus tree. So once you see your tree die off, many of us will rush to our closest garden center or nursery and purchase a new tree, only to go through the same experience once again, guys. So telling you, I from experience guarantee you that overwatering has absolutely nothing to do with leaf curl in our citrus plants. If you see leaf curl, it's from exact opposite. It's from under watering our citrus plants. So you must adequately water your citrus plant if you're starting to see leaf curl. Another interesting fact about leaf curl is that it doesn't happen to all citrus plants, not all citrus plant varieties. Why? I don't know why. And in fact, I've been doing a lot of research, and from what I've been seeing and reading and hearing is that no one yet knows why leaf curl occurs to some citrus varieties, but not others. So other citrus varieties, when they're lacking water, what happens to their leaves, you may ask? Where the leaves just start to droop down. So instead of curling upwards into a straw-like structure, they just go down and they droop down. And let me show you what that example looks like. So here is my lime tree. This is a established, mature lime tree. You could see I have quite a few limes growing on it. So I wanted to show you what wilting of the leaves looks like. So you could see over here how this leaf is kind of bending downward a bit. It's not perked up. It's not straight. So you could see over here, upper leaves, they're nice and perked up. You could see they're firm, leathery to the touch. And then the bottom leaves on some branches, you could see how it's in a way wilting, bending downward. So as I just said, not all citrus varieties experience leaf curl. Some varieties will try to tell you that they're lacking water by simply wilting their leaves versus curling them upwards. So I briefly want to go over two best ways to check moisture content in the soil in which our citrus trees grow in. So the first thing you can do is purchase a moisture meter detector, such as this one. It's a very simple one. You could see it has two prongs to it. In fact, this is a 3-in-1 detector. It detects light exposure level, moisture level, as well as soil pH level. I got this detector on sale from Amazon, and I will link it in the comment section below. And let me show you exactly how to use such a device to measure the moisture content in the soil. Here you go, guys. I wanted you to get a better view of this detector so you could see that it measures 3 things: the moisture content, the light exposure level, and the pH level. And all you have to do is switch to whatever you're trying to measure. You could see over here, it goes all the way from dry to wet. When it comes to pH level, it shows you whether the soil is alkaline, neutral, or acidic. And then the very top layer, top portion of this device, tells you the light exposure. It will tell you if the plant is in a dark spot, maybe it needs to be relocated to a more bright area, or whether it has full sun or light exposure. So in this case, we're trying to measure the moisture content. So we switch it to the moist function. And all you do is you bring this device to the container. I try to go as close to the plant as possible where the root system is. And you stick this device about halfway into the soil, and then you see that my soil is indeed wet. Well, actually, I watered these plants earlier today, so I'm glad to see that I definitely provided enough moisture to my citrus plants. But this shows you exactly what the moisture content of the soil is. If you don't trust that, if you want to remeasure, you could try placing it in a different spot in the container. Here you go. And you could see that it's still showing plenty of moisture. For those of you guys, my fellow gardeners, who for whatever reason prefer not to purchase and use a moisture detector, there is one free and easy way to check for moisture content. I like to use my index finger and stick it directly into the soil as deep as you can go. If you can go 50% down, that would be amazing. Again, depending on the size of your container. And when you pull out your finger, if you feel or see any debris or moisture, then your soil is still perfectly moist. If once you pull out your finger and you're not feeling or seeing any moisture, guess what, guys? It's time to rewater your citrus plant once again, or any plant for that matter. So using our finger to check for moisture content is very easy and a free way to help keep our plants healthy and thriving. When growing citrus plants or any plants in containers for that matter, I always like to follow the 50-75% rule when it comes to watering. So if I stick my index finger into the soil and check for moisture, if I feel that the soil is 50 to 75% on the dry side, it's time to water our plant once again. So remember, guys, 50 to 75% rule. If you are guessing in any way whether that soil is moist, if you're thinking 50-50, maybe it's moist, well, kind of it feels dry, guess what, guys? Even if it's 50-50, time to water your plant once again. Again, guys, I want to reassure you 100%, 150% that overwatering your citrus plant will not cause leaf curl. But I do want to show you what is one major sign on our citrus plant when you do in fact overwater your plant. Over here I have my lemon tree that is completely packed with flower buds and blooms. You could see how many beautiful flower buds this lemon plant has, more and more on every single branch. But you can also see how wet the leaves are. Why? Because this plant was sitting outside in my backyard during this intense rainstorm that we've been having. And I started to notice that the leaves have started to turn yellow. Some are less yellow, but you could still see the yellow pigmentation. Some are totally yellow. So this yellowing of the leaves is exactly what happens when the citrus plant gets overwatered, whether it's Mother Nature, whether you overwatered it. So why is this happening, guys? Basically, you or Mother Nature, due to excessive watering, has started to wash out all of the nutrients from your citrus tree, hence causing the leaves to change color from bright, deep green as it should be, to lighter green, followed by yellow, guys. One of the main and very important nutrients that citrus plants need is nitrogen, guys. And nitrogen is responsible for the beautiful, lush, deep green leaves and foliage. So when nitrogen starts to get washed out of the soil and the root system, this is exactly what starts to happen to your citrus plant. So now I'm going to fertilize this citrus plant to bring back some of those nutrients that were unfortunately all washed out by the rain. So again, guys, if you do see any sort of yellowing to your citrus plant's leaves, or if you're starting to even see your plant's leaves change from this deep green color to anything that looks as light as this is called chlorosis. This is the term, the proper term used to refer to yellowing of the plant's leaves due to lack of nutrition, lack of nitrogen, guys. So this is caused by over-watering your plant, specifically in this case, our citrus plant. So because unfortunately chlorosis did happen to my lemon plant over here, thank God the buds are still here and the flowers are in full bloom, but I will re-fertilize the soil of this citrus using this Foam Organic Citrus Stone Fertilizer. For those of you who are not familiar with this product, it is an excellent, excellent organic fertilizer for citrus and avocado trees. There are very clear instructions in the back of the packet. I will link this product in the comment section below as well, guys. I do not work for Foam Organic. I do not market them. I do not profit from them. I just think that Foam Organic is an excellent company with very good, in fact, excellent products. I use their fertilizers in my home garden, in my green room, and they have done wonders for me and my plants. So I just highly, highly recommend them. And again, I will link them in the comment section below, but there are other citrus fertilizers available out there on Amazon, at Lowe's Garden Center, at Home Depot Garden Center. But again, if you see chlorosis happening to your plant, meaning the leaves have changed colors from deep green to lighter green to yellow, it is the first sign of overwatering and the washing out of nitrogen. Hence, you should reapply citrus fertilizer to your plant soil, especially in the case that your plant is blooming and producing more flower buds. Remember, guys, each flower is one lemon, guys, and you do not want to lose any of these flowers. You don't want them to drop off due to lack of nutrients. Reason number 2 for leaf curl in our citrus plants are pests, guys. Thrips, aphids, leaf miners. These are just some of the pests that could creep up and start attacking our citrus plants. Thrips, aphids, or leaf miners usually prefer to attack younger, softer, more delicate, tender leaves on our citrus plants. What they do is they lay eggs, which later hatch, and the larva starts sucking out all the juices from those leaves, from those younger, tender leaves on our citrus plants. Another very clear indication that a pest of some sort has creeped up into your home or your home garden and started to attack and devour your citrus plant is if you're going to notice that your leaves are no longer looking straight, perked up, leathery, but in fact, they're starting to look wrinkly and or deformed looking. So any deformity or sign of wrinkles is a good indication that some sort of a pest has been sucking the juices, the nutrients out of your citrus plant. So if you notice shriveling or deformity, what can you do to kill off these insects or pests and keep them away from your citrus plant? The first thing you can do is you can try spraying your citrus plant with either neem oil. For those of you who are not familiar with neem oil, it's a very good organic, safe product to use in your home or your home garden. And for those of you who are not sure where to purchase it or get it, I will link it in the comment section below as well. It is very widely available in garden centers and nurseries. Amazon carries it, Home Depot carries it, Lowe's carries it, Walmart even carries it. But I will link it in the comment section below. For those of you who do not want to use neem oil, for whatever reason, guys, you could try spraying soapy water, which is a mixture of dish soap and tap water, using a spray bottle or a mister. You can apply soapy water to your plant's leaves, both the top and the bottom sides of your leaves. However, if you are using neem oil or soapy water to combat pests, you have to be very, very thorough and very, very diligent, meaning you must reapply as often as needed until the problem disappears. However, if you're not going to be consistent or thorough or diligent, using neem oil or even soapy water will be a total waste of funds and time, guys. And of course, your effort. Consistency is the key when it comes to using neem oil or soapy water. For those of you guys who don't trust neem oil or soapy water, or maybe the problem is just totally out of hand and you want to save your citrus plant, there is a pesticide that you can use, and here's an example of one. It is Captain Jack's Orchard Spray Concentrate. So it kills listed insects, diseases, and mites. Use up to day before harvest. And here is a list of plants and or trees that they recommend using this product on, and citrus is one of them. So you mix about 5 ounces of this concentrate with 1 gallon of tap water. If the problem is really, really bad, meaning your tree or your plant is completely being eaten alive by pests. If you feel the problem is moderate, you could mix less, 2.5 ounces per 1 gallon of water, and thoroughly apply the spray with using a spray bottle or a mister to both the top and the bottom portions of your leaves. And how do you know when you applied enough? When you will see the mixture dripping off the leaves, guys, and the stems and the branches. I also recommend, if you are applying this, to also apply it to the soil of your plant. So whether your tree is growing outside, I like to spray the trunk, the branches, the leaves, of course, and I always spray the soil beneath the tree where the root system is. If you're applying this product to a pot or a container, potted plant, also, I always spray the soil as well, because there are a lot of pests that like to hide in the soil. They like to live and lay eggs in the soil, guys. So just because you spray the leaves doesn't mean you conquered the problem. The pests, the eggs, the larvae might still be living in the soil past a week or two, and you might see them reappear simply because you never treated the soil in your pot or your container. There are very clear instructions. In fact, it's a whole packet of instructions in the back. So it says that Orchard Spray controls a wide range of fungal disease and insects from listed fruit, nuts, citrus, vegetable, ornamentals, house plants, and even lawns for use on roses, flowers, shrubs, vegetables, and fruit trees. And 1 pint of this concentrate makes up to 6.4 gallons of finished spray, guys. And you could see over here, there are very clear instructions. Like I said, if you guys have very wet weather, if you feel like the problem is just out of hand, 5 fluid ounces of product with 1 gallon of water. If the problem is more moderate or more controlled, 2.5 fluid ounces per 1 gallon of water. And you could see over here all the restrictions. But next page, guys, take a look at this. Use site indoor, outdoor, and even greenhouse. And it tells you all the possible vegetables, herbs, fruits, shrubs, plants. And it tells you what pests might be attacking it, or what disease could possibly be attacking that plant. So if the problem is listed anywhere on these pages, this spray, this concentrate might help fix that pest problem or disease problem. Again, guys, remember, this is a pesticide though. So you must think and consider, wisely prior to making the decision to use this in your home. If you guys have been noticing curl or wrinkling to your citrus plant leaves, again, guys, this is all cosmetic. This does not in any way damage the leaves. However, this wrinkling or curling will unfortunately also stay on your plant's leaves until their fall off cycle, meaning once they're ready to fall off, and your plant will generate and grow new baby leaves. So even if you combat and treat the problem with neem oil, soapy water, or even the pesticide that we just spoke about, unfortunately, this curling, this wrinkling of the leaves will stay on your plant. Some might find this a bit unsightly, non-attractive, but it's okay, guys. As long as you no longer see any pests or disease, your plant is good to go. And again, these leaves will eventually fall off and your tree will grow new, fresh leaves. This is it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for joining me here today in my green room in Long Island, New York, Zone 7A. In today's video, we spoke about 2 reasons why our citrus plants might be experiencing leaf curl, guys. If you enjoyed the content of today's video, if you found this video to be useful, helpful, informative in any way, show me that support by clicking thumbs up below. Leave your comment in the comment section below as well, guys. I love speaking to each and every single one of you. I read each and every one of your comments and I personally respond to each and every single one of you. Let me know, do you guys grow citrus plants, trees in your home or your home garden, guys? Have you ever experienced leaf curl? And if so, how did you treat and combat that issue? And was that method successful for you guys? And for those who haven't yet subscribed to my gardening channel, Gardening Cold Spring Harbor, what are you waiting for, guys? Super easy for you to do, yet so pleasing and rewarding to me, knowing that you guys enjoy watching my video, that you find the content of my videos to be useful, helpful, informative, that you're liking and enjoying the advice, the gardening tips that I share with you guys. Super easy to do. Go below this video and click the subscribe button. And if you want to get notifications from YouTube every time I'll upload a new garden video, don't forget to click the bell icon as well. You will get notified every single time I'll upload a new garden video. Stay healthy, guys. Happy. Be well, each and every single one of you. And happy gardening, guys. And I'll see you again in my new upcoming garden videos. Bye, guys.